Gamescom 2021, the E3 of the EU. Has it really been 2 years? Damn. Overall presentation wise, yeah, I knew this thing was gonna be a little boring. After over 7 hours in total of watching these presentations, it didn't feel like a whole lot was going on, but by the end of everything, taking a step back, the game release calendar for this holiday and the beginning of next year is finally seen. For a while since 2020, when most big game projects were disrupted by COVID, game dev updates understandably took a little bit to come out, and basically everything got delayed. But that also could be due to Cyberpunk being such a failure that Techland realized they had to finish a game. It's like some of the most hype announcements that happened this week happened outside of Gamescom. Akuma being in Monster Hunter Rise and throwing Hadoukens and Tatsus, Guilty Gear Strive Jacko character gameplay breakdown, as well as the first major balance patch going live. They just buffed everyone. And Bravely Default 2 and Monster Rancher 1 and 2 are coming to PC. Most of Gamescom this year were updates on upcoming games or big content updates to existing games. At least in terms of major publishing studios, not a whole lot of new games to announce. Most notably the Saints Row reboot coming February next year. Yes, Saints Row is finally back, which is nice because hey, when are we gonna get another GTA game? It looks like single player is the focus here. I was kind of scared that they were just gonna try to go all out on online, try to compete with the GTA Online space, but we'll get to that. I'll just do a quick recap of all of Gamescom. There was the Destiny 2 panel. Destiny 2 crossplay has gone live, and the next super big content update being the Witch Queen is out February 2022. The biggest mechanical feature they're adding is there's gonna be weapon crafting in this, and the Galahorn is back, which I never played a Destiny game, but that's a big deal. Y'all gonna have to tell me why. Moving on to Xbox's Gamescom showcase. This one was really boring. The whole show is basically updates to previously announced games, almost like an extension to everything shown at E3. But like Pixar, Xbox has cars and planes to show.
Wrong.
Cars Mexico coming to Game Pass on PC day one is pretty damn big for the platform. And as we're talking about Games Pass, of course with these Xbox shows, that is the main feast of the shows. Not many big announcements have happened at these Xbox shows, but for Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One owners with Game Pass now supports xCloud or streaming the game to the console, which is definitely where we saw this going. You know, no more needing to download the games before playing, really getting to the Netflix of gaming point. If they're gonna stream games on consoles, the next step would best be to co-process with the console and the cloud, but yeah, that seems pretty complicated. But if they can find a way to use xCloud to stream the games, but also use your Xbox hardware that you're running the game on to help process some of this to make a more seamless experience, that would be really smart and probably the direction that this is heading in. But 60 FPS 1080p is the goal. Games Pass just looking better and better and better, especially if you own an Xbox. And they tried to make a big deal that, oh, you can play Xbox Series X games on your Xbox One, next gen games on previous gen hardware. You picked the worst console generation to say, oh, they're generations, because this whole generation has mainly just been updates to previous generation games on next gen hardware. But the better Game Pass gets, the better the Series S looks. Cheap entry to Games Pass with the expanded library of games available on the Xbox's version versus PC Games Pass. And now that the Xbox console version of Game Pass, those games can be streamed as well, that's a pretty damn big deal. And the Xbox Series S looking more and more tempting since you don't gotta install these games and worry about your internal memory. For an all digital console, you just stream it. Moving on to opening night live, the big Jeff Keighley panel. And with Jeff hosting this one, you know it ends with Death Stranding because he loves Kojima. I was expecting some big updates from this. At this point, we still didn't have a major holiday game from Xbox or Sony, and we got release dates for both their next big blockbusters. Halo Infinite comes out December 8th, and Horizon Forbidden West comes out February 18th, 2022. People mentioning how December is way too late for a holiday release. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate also came out the first week of December. Yeah, and that game did fine, so Halo Infinite, I don't know what people are saying, that oh, it's doomed, it's coming out at a weird time, it's over. We needed that Halo update because the Xbox panel the previous day felt so barren of any games, at least for the upcoming release calendar. Surprisingly, we have not seen any updates on Halo single player though. They just say it's the best semi-open world procedurally generated combat thingy that you'll ever experience. I think they might be a little scared. It seems like they're cutting other features just to really polish this and hit this release date. It's pretty crazy that content still had to be cut. I understand that's not easy, but Forge mode being cut, I feel like that's a big deal. But with it being added to a free-to-play game that is Halo's multiplayer, yeah, I don't mind. That's still gonna be really fun. So December 8th, I hope this game does well, I'm gonna be honest. And then the award came up for Xbox's best game of the year, and all the nominees were games that weren't out yet, and I was like, damn, the Xbox really doesn't have any games. But then there was this weird award segment trickled throughout the show about the best game for games that weren't released yet. The whole Gamescom experience definitely got dragged on way longer than it needed to. But you gotta cram in those IGN sponsors. Horizon coming February is pretty expected. We were kind of expecting that it wouldn't come out this year. But a nice little add-on is Horizon Zero Dawn is now 60 FPS on the PS5. So February next year looking pretty stacked with Horizon. King of Fighters 15 or KOF 15 is coming out February 17th, 2022. And the new Saints Row reboot coming out February 25th, just like a week after Horizon. And also, did I say stacked? Because apparently not. This trailer was received horribly. People calling it Fortnite looking as hell, looking like it's made for children. I don't even know the rating on this yet. They also said that this one will not be as quote unquote edgy as previous. So how laid back edgy are we talking? Like no sex jokes? Because that just feels really wrong to take that kind of edge off of Saints Row. Like stripping South Park of its edge. Saints Row is definitely kind of one of those series like South Park where you said, oh, it can get away with it. It's Saints Row, you know? So we'll see how much the edge is toned down. By the trailer, it definitely does give like a, yeah, full of attitude and personality feel versus the overly ridiculous like Chad stereotype that you played in other games. Like being the president, you're just like the biggest shit of everything. They at least got to keep that level of like a don't give a shit protagonist, right? Okay, I'm starting to see why people are worried. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because it does seem it's going for a single player focus thing. If it was just trying to do the whole GTA Online thing and get into that space, then yeah, I would have not been impressed. Midnight Suns, a game you probably heard about because they sponsored IGN to constantly talk about it. It's a game where you make up an OC that the Avengers are friends with. The game is being made by Firaxis, the team behind Sid Meier's Civilization, and the XCOM series, which this game will play like an XCOM game. Based on a 90s Ghost Riders comic run, this got more of that 90s edge to it, especially with the character designs. This one comes out March 2022. And then Call of Duty Vanguard had a big spotlight, big gameplay reveal. I don't care if you just want me to talk about the game, but the big elephant in the room is definitely Blizzard Activision and all the horrendous stuff that's going on. Literally right before this presentation, the state of California added on to their civil rights lawsuit against Blizzard Activision, accusing them of HR covering complaints of harassment and discrimination by shredding documents and covering up all evidence. To read that story and then sit here and listen to Jeff Keighley and Laura Bailey talk about how awesome it is to have a women representation. Oh my god, she's killing Nazis and stuff. When you hear about the horrendous stuff that women employees had to endure at Blizzard Activision, that these guys would not condone the stuff, and they're probably super active on Twitter being like, oh my god, Blizzard Activision's so bad. So then be like, Call of Duty's new game. Brush under the rug the name of Blizzard Activision at all. I get that they're in a weird spot, but the fact that they don't mention it at all and also be like, oh, celebrating women representation in gaming, when the publisher literally took rights away from the women employees to such an extent that they're getting sued for breaking civil rights. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna listen to this shit from Call of Duty. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga got a big gameplay reveal trailer, and it's slated to be coming out spring 2022. No hard release date. They're really starting to get it to look like real Legos in some of the gameplay shown off. It looks fun. I know that this was the big reveal that a lot of people were waiting for, and it goes through all 9 of the main Star Wars movies. This is probably gonna be a long ass game. They put Morgana in a ball. Let him go. People are kind of hoping for Jack Frost, but yeah, of course it's gotta be Persona 5, baby. There's a new game builder or Roblox-like game made by Deadmau5 after the pandemic and wanting to change the way that digital events or concerts were enjoyed. And Fortnite responds by revolutionizing digital events themselves with having a Martin Luther King rally inside of Fortnite. What? And now we get to talk about the big wildcard surprise of the show. Dokev, whatever the hell this is. Everyone keeps calling it a Pokemon-like game, but like where? Where's the Pokemon? Sure, even if you collect monsters and stuff, what is this gameplay? This is like Balan Wonderworld 2.0. I can't get over the kid's face. It looks so funny, like when they're swinging these big heavy weapons and the animation gets slowed down showing how heavy the weapon, how big the impact is, and they have the like most generic flat deadpan Pixar face. Actually, what is this game? It's made by Pearl Abyss, the same team that does the Black Desert MMO. What is this? Because what am I looking at? This is the real weird baby magic game thing that we needed. This looks way more interesting than Balan Wonderworld. Outlast Trials got a gameplay trailer. It got pushed back to a 2022 release date. This one's gonna have multiplayer. There's a free-to-play soccer game UFL, which is hilarious because Konami put out a trailer for eFootball, their very very own free-to-play soccer or football game. So yeah, FIFA's got some competition. We got 2 free-to-play soccer games coming up. Maybe EA actually has to try to make a new game. What else? Jurassic World Evolution 2 got a release date of November. I'm sick of hearing this game from Jeff Goldblum. Don't care, Jeff Goldblum.
Welcome to the audience, maybe.
Oh yeah, and there was finally a big Death Stranding reveal. I'm gonna admit I completely checked out of the show by this point, but tons of new things to play around with in Death Stranding. People have pointed out that you're ruining the point of Death Stranding because it's the point of the treachery of walking and balancing this load, where now you have all these robots to carry and auto-deliver your load. I think that's way better. Death Stranding is basically a sandbox game if you think about it. Now there's just way more tools to play around with in the sandbox. There's also competitive racing, because why not? They added it to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Add it to this. More planes and cars. So if we got cars, coming up to the final day of Gamescom, planes. Balsa Flight Sim, made by a new studio called Floating Origin Studio, started by the creator of the Kerbal Space Program. They got a new flight sim, move over Microsoft, and it's in early access right now on Steam. It's like Kerbal Space Program, but planes. Blasphemous is getting an update, and Blasphemous 2 got announced for 2023, which is so far in the future I don't care. Dying Light Platinum Edition is coming to Switch, and oh yeah, I didn't talk about Dying Light. That was talked about a bunch during all the Gamescom panels, just showing off new gameplay here and there, and how cool it is to have so much animation. Oh, it's so cool.
It's all thanks to dozens or even hundreds of new animations.
We have used over 3,000 animations of jumps.
I can't lie, I'm interested in trying this one out though. I love a bunch of mobility options given in games, so this one could be good. But yeah, yesterday was pretty hard to sit through with the Future Game Show and the awesome indies, not because the games were necessarily bad. Hey, this one's cool. It's like Cuphead, but 1950s. It's just IGN was insufferable. Future Game Show always has Jeff Goldblum. There's some other games showing up. Obviously, I can't go through everything, but Gamescom ended with a bang, with CatDog and April O'Neil coming to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, the Nickelodeon Smash Bros. Platinum Fighters with rollback made by the Slap City devs. And that was pretty much everything, at least the majority of the major news announcements. You can see why I felt like barely anything happened in the over 7 hours of me watching these panels. But oh my god, we actually have a release schedule for the games coming out for the rest of the year. Coming out this October, Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread, Super Monkey Ball, Mario Party Superstars, Square's Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Empires 4, Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater remake, Dark Pictures Anthology House of Ashes, FIFA and NHL 2022, Back 4 Blood, and the Demon Slayer game are coming out. Also Battlefield 2042. Then November, Forza Horizon 5, Call of Duty Kiss My Ass, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, the next gen version of GTA 5, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Just Dance 2022, and Jurassic World Jeff Goldblum 2. Finally in December, we have the Advance Wars 1 and 2 remakes, Dying Light 2, and Halo Infinite. Oh yeah, also Monster Rancher 1 and 2, that's hype. January, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, Rainbow Six Extraction, and Elden Ring. And then February, we have Horizon Forbidden West, King of Fighters 15, and Saints Row Fortnite reboot. Oh yeah, and also Sifu, which is gonna be hype, because I mean, look at it. So it looks like we're finally out of the gaming dark age of everything being set back from COVID, and 2020 being pretty weak from at least the large devs. 2022, I feel like, is the year where the next gen is really gonna feel like it started. But that'll be it for this one. What do you think? Even if the showcase itself wasn't all that impactful, there are an insane amount of games coming out in like the next 2 months. But that'll be it for this one. Y'all just got dumped on. Bye bye.